My name is Reverend Dr. Barry King, and I'd like to thank you for joining me for this 16th episode of Spirit Speaks. In this podcast, what we do is we respond to the last podcast in a way which talked about humanity as a collective consciousness and the impact of that on not only the world that we live in, but also on ourselves. So, in this episode, what we do is we ask a few questions. And those questions are asked to a guide of mine who is named Adam, who is actually a collective consciousness, who comes in on a fairly regular basis and shares information with us that they feel may be useful. Thank you for joining me. And I thank you for taking the time to learn a bit more about the nature of spirit and the nature of spirit communication and what it's like to be human, even though we are not human by nature. We are by nature eternal, infinite spirit, and we're choosing a life of limitation. We're choosing a life of challenge. We're growing, we're becoming. And the spirit world, the entities on the other side are happy to assist us in our journey. Thank you. I wish you love and joy and much peace. And I invite you to hug someone you love. Thank you. And God bless. I am pleased to be able to share and to bring you information. We understand that there may be questions that you wish to ask. We are pleased to answer these questions. I am Adam. I am the voice of a collective. I am a living extension of the power of collective mind and collective presence. We open the floor to any questions you may have that we may be able to address them.
I have a question. When you say we are choosing to live a life of lacking versus a life of prosperity for all, what type of prosperity are you referring to exactly?
When we speak of prosperity, what we speak of is not financial, of course. It is having enough food, enough work, enough opportunity for all members of your society to feel productive, to learn and grow, to be able to work and learn and become more without the need for lacking, without hunger, without fear, without chaos, without confusion. It is allowing your members, your people to be peaceful, joyful, productive, accessing information and insights through the collective mind and integrating them into your society. There are many achievements that your people, humanity, have had access to, which have been rejected or cast aside for reasons of fear or the desire to control a thing. If you cannot control a thing, then you destroy the thing and control things that you can manipulate and manage. Prosperity is a state of mind. Prosperity is a state of being. It is health and wellness, emotional balance, spiritual connection, all these things. And they are accessible to each of you always. Does this answer your question?
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Are we as a society, humankind, moving toward true spiritual enlightenment, or are we moving away?
It is a complicated question, but a simple answer. There is only one direction that you can move in. You are moving towards spiritual enlightenment. The challenge is always that as you move closer to it, those that wish to dispel it are fearful of the lack of control they have over it, are fearful of not being the chosen ones. Those people must speak and rise and then be dissipated, transformed, transmuted into accepting that the good for all is the greatest good. You as a species, you as a people can only move towards enlightenment, for you in your true form are enlightened. You in your true form are not limited or restricted. The message that we share is one of absolute truth. It is one of your absolute perfection. And the choice that you make to limit that perfection through intention, through purposeful limitation and self inhibition. We wish you to be free of those limitations. We wish for you to choose to rise above them and embrace your perfect nature. Does this have some clarity to you?
Yes, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
What is the best?
Go ahead, Crystal.
Go ahead, Nancy. That's fine. Sorry.
Okay. You said that this is not the first time humanity has moved through this cycle. Can you say more about when humanity has moved through this cycle before?
This is something that is part of your collective consciousness, that humanity has indeed gone through numerous cycles from limitation within the physical, rising up to higher spiritual awareness until you are, as a species, unaffected by the physical world, rising above the physical world and becoming pure mind. You are infinite and eternal. You must understand that once you, within the human race, achieve as individuals your enlightenment, you are freed. You are lifted to other dimensional challenges, other dimensional awarenesses, and others populate the human race so that it becomes cyclical, starting at the ground level, starting at the most basic level, and rising to the most glorious and beautiful levels of spiritual and divine awareness, where you exist within the physical world in total harmony with it, where you, through a thought, can travel, in a thought can heal, with a thought can communicate over great distances. There is no technology in the higher levels. They are unnecessary. It is cyclical. There are many, we search for numbers. There are no numbers because infinity has no limits. How many times has the cycle happened? There is no boundary that we can share with you that would have meaning. But each cycle is $30,000 years in length or so. It is a changing. Understanding of time and space as you move. Each manifestation of limitation brings new understandings of limitations and time constructs to work within. We hope this makes some sense to you.
Yes, thank you so much.
What is the best way for us to help mankind draw towards a spiritual life that is free of fear and judgment?
The best way to do this is to be this. If you reach a place where you can say that you are pure in your spiritual perspective, without judgment, without fear, without limitation, as you move towards that goal and achieve that goal, and there are some in your history who have achieved that and achieved recognition for those achievements, you can not only impact your personal evolution, but the evolution of others. You become a example of what can be achieved through divine connection and awareness. It is free of limitation, free of fear, free of greed, free of any of the earmarkings of social and human limitation. You, each in your own way, are making a difference, are moving towards heightened spiritual awareness, are learning to reject judgment and the need to control, the need to consume, to own, to manipulate. Each of you, each soul achieves this spiritual perfection as an individual. But as you become more attuned to the collective becomes more attuned to divine perfection, human potential. You can heal this world in a thought. As a collective, it takes only an instant. But we need to dispel the chaos, the fear, the illusion of limitation. When this vessel speaks of limitation, it's with an understanding that limitation is a choice. You can reject this and become your perfect expression of divine truth. Does this answer your question?
Beautifully, thank you.
I I bring you greetings and salutations. It is David George. We are pleased to have been able to facilitate this process this evening. Are there any questions or things which we can provide insight to?
I have a question. Is Earth or humanity, humans, are we the only dimension that receive these messages and these kinds of messages?
The simple answer is no. We are manifest in all dimensions. We are bringers of truth in all dimensions. There are expanded awarenesses and truths that resonate in other places that would not be heard or understood here. You are special creatures. You are reflections of divine consciousness, as are all beings, all life forms. There are many who bring these messages for the evolution and development of souls and for soul awareness. As has been said before, there are souls which are connected to the divine, but not necessarily speakers of divine truth. These souls are evolving, changing, developing. Their access to divine truth may be limited at times or in certain ways, for they are choosing the privilege of experiencing and growing and becoming. It is so beautiful in its simplicity. It is so expansive in its truth. We enjoy the opportunity to speak to many souls through conscious connection. It is a gift that we share, and it is a gift that we receive to be able to speak divine truth, to connect to divine consciousness. I am David George. I am one of those who is journeying through awareness, through purposeful design to connect to my higher reality in and through divine mind. I am not of the angelic host, but I am aware of divine truth, but do not necessarily task myself with enlightening all souls with this truth. We have different purpose. It is one of experience, compassion, love, truth, awareness. The angelic host is the voice, the mind of the divine. We are merely reflections. Does this resonate with you?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
I am happy to address any other questions.
You said earlier that you do not endorse spirituality for profit. Does that mean those who do excessively are not of the divine?
No, that does not mean that. What we mean, I will qualify this. Souls that are corrupted by the need for profit, the need to survive at the cost of others, are just as I am learning. They are learning, they are growing, they are in a process of becoming. The difference is that they still have fear. They still embrace a fear, and that fear makes it very difficult for them to give. It makes it very difficult for them to have the compassion and the understanding to realize that giving is receiving. I am aware of this truth. They are not. They are not as evolved as others. They will evolve in time, for their fear directs their choices, and their choices are manifest, creating more fear. It is cyclical, but it can be broken. You work towards breaking those cycles. We do not judge, but we do discern. We do understand. We know that each soul is where they are because it's where they are. They are evolving in process. We can manage, we can empower, we can support, we can inhibit some damage, but we must allow the process to move. We must allow choice to create positive and negative outcomes. It is only through this that people, souls, can learn. souls can evolve. And it is only through the illusion of limitation that they can not connect to a higher awareness that they have, for they need to experience, to learn, to understand, to change. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
We are pleased to be able to work with you. We are pleased to be able to work with this vessel. We accept all of the imperfections that each of us expresses, but we celebrate the intention, the love, the truth, the pursuit of right action. We celebrate this and empower this type of awareness, for it is the vehicle through which change occurs. I am in transition. We are pleased to have been able to be of service tonight. We give thanks and pray that divine blessings fall upon you, that they restore and nurture you, that you become all you can be. We ask this in the name of the divine, and we give thanks.